Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's been a couple of weeks. I've had the Easter holidays and so I haven't been able to film much because I've had the kids, but I have been coming down to the allotment. So what I'll do is I'll give you a quick tour of how I've got on with the plot so far. So at the back of the plot I've got my pond and that's still covered over. I can't see any frog spawn, and I read up and it said that newts can eat the tadpoles or the frog spawn, and I've got quite a lot of newts in here, so I'm not sure if that's what happened to them. At some point when I give the pond a clean out and things, I'll have a look and see exactly what is in there, and hopefully I do see little frogs hopping around the place. And then I've put down cardboard, and we got a delivery of wood chip to the plot, so I've managed to put wood chip on quite a few of my paths, which has been really handy. And on this first bed here, it doesn't look exciting, but this first bed I've planted my asparagus, and so these are new crowns that I've put in, and so I need to wait 2 years before I can start harvesting them, but then they should harvest for a number of years after that. I've put in 10 asparagus crowns, and then I didn't manage to fill the whole bed, so what I've done is at home I've planted some asparagus seeds in pots, and so hopefully those will come up, and then I can just add them down the front here, and then those ones obviously will take a year longer than the ones that I bought as crowns before I can start harvesting them. And then if I take you around to the bed on the other side here, I've put in my broad beans because I didn't have any other beds ready at the time, and they're doing quite well actually. They're Bunyards Exhibition, they're my favourite broad bean, I think they taste the nicest. And at the back here what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my runner beans, green beans, things like that. And here where the broad beans are, that's eventually going to become my globe artichoke bed, and I've got those growing from seed at home. They're about that sort of size, maybe a little bit bigger. They're in pots, so they'll be able to wait until these have finished producing broad beans, and then when I pull those out I'll put the globe artichokes in, and then next year hopefully I'll be able to get a good crop of globe artichokes from those. Then moving forward, this is my 2 beds of my summer fruiting raspberries. So I've got a early summer and a late summer fruiting raspberry. This one here is the early summer fruiting raspberry, and unfortunately because they grow on the 2nd year cane, the fruit, these were cut down so that they could be delivered, and I won't really get much from them this year, but next year I should get a really lovely harvest from them. And these ones are called raspberry mauling Juno, so they're good. And then I've just put some garlics in the front. Apparently they're good companion plants for raspberries, and these will take a while before they fill out the bed. And then moving on to this bed over here, this is the later summer fruiting raspberry, and this is called Tulameen Pearl. And again, I won't get a brilliant crop from this year. Some of them have started to sort of send up some foliage. I won't get a brilliant crop from these this year, but next year I should get a good crop from them, and then they'll thicken up and hopefully fill out this bed. And then in front of those I've just got some red onions. And then so these beds here are 1.5 meters wide, and then the paths are 75 centimeters. I'm wondering whether actually I should reduce the size of the path to about 50 centimeters. Let me know in the comment below if you think that the 75 centimeter paths are a little bit too wide. Looking at it, it takes up an awful lot of space, the path, so I'm wondering whether I should reduce the size a little bit. And then moving on to this bed here, this is my autumn fruiting raspberry, so this will grow on this year's growth, so hopefully I should get a good harvest of these. And this is a variety I've never grown before. It's called Polka, but it had good reviews online. They said it's a very good a good cropping raspberry, so I'm hoping that this is really good. I normally grow Autumn Bliss, but hopefully this is just as good. If not, then I can always change my mind and put in Autumn Bliss instead. And then the last bed that I've managed to plant up, I've dug up a little bit of rhubarb from further down the plot down there. I've dug a little bit up, I've moved it and I've put it in here, and so hopefully this will establish. and they're nice red stemmed rhubarbs. And then I've put in 2 blackcurrant bushes, and these have leafed up really nicely actually, and if you can see, they've got some flowers on them. Is it going to focus? There we go, it's focused. So it's got some flowers on it already, so I might even get some blackcurrants from this year. And if you have a look, this is called Ebony, and so it had good reviews again online, so I'm hoping it's a good variety. So I've got the 2 of those, and then here I'm going to put in, this is another bed there, I've just managed to level that off, and in there I'm going to put my gooseberry plants. And so I've got those at home, they're waiting to go out, so hopefully I can come down tomorrow and put those in. And then moving down here, I'm going to hopefully put some potatoes around this bed here. I was going to put tomatoes, but apparently tomatoes and potatoes aren't good companions, so I'm not going to put them next to each other. I also wanted to say thank you to the people who commented on my last video about what this was. It's been really helpful. I think it is Jacob's ladder, which is a flower, so what I will probably do is pot it up and then well, pot quite a few of them up, and I don't really want them in the middle of the allotment, but what I might do is I might put a few around the pond at the allotment, and then some of them I might take home. So thank you so much for commenting on the video. I've found that the mulch has been working really well with the cardboard at suppressing weeds, but with things like comfrey that are a little bit more vigorous than your average weed, I am still having to go along and pull them out and then cover the holes back up just to make sure that they eventually die off underneath the cardboard. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!